Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. His name is Maven Kretche. He is an edge rusher out of Minnesota State, Mankato. Nice to have you on, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the time to talk.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. We're looking at probably one of, if not the top talent at the Division II level. I know that's a lot of high praise. I don't know how you
That
take
is a
that.
lot of high praise. I
Okay.
do appreciate it though.
But actually had an opportunity to interview one of your teammates
Mhm.
recently in Marshall Ferner,
Yep.
and that was fun. And so people that are watching can go back and check out that interview. But Maven, I know you have a great story. Want to get after it and share that with the people. So go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll get going.
Yeah, so my name is Maven Kretche. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know really what else to introduce myself with. This is my sixth year playing. I'm a COVID redshirt guy. So this is my sixth year playing up in Mankato. I love it. Love my teammates. I'm just excited to have this opportunity, honestly.
Well, I mean, hey, obviously you've gotten to a place where you've earned it, dude. You've earned the recognition. You've earned a spot on actually a lot of different watch lists. I
Mm,
think you were on the senior and the Shrine Bowl watch list.
sure.
And uh, for good reason, man. I mean, you closed out last season as an All-American and had a lot of, I guess, great expectations coming into this season. So maybe I have in my notes, went to Sun Prairie High School there in Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
So along with some football, also did lacrosse, track and
Hmm.
field, and maybe something else that's not in my notes. But take us back to those days when you were in high school, man. Give me one, maybe one of your fondest memories.
Honestly, just growing up in general, I'd say I was just one of those kids that was just outside, 24/7. Just loved playing any sports that involved, bunch of group of guys, good friends. Trying to think of a memory, good memory. Played in state. It was really rainy. I think if there was different conditions on that day, I think things could have ended up differently. But Sun Prairie High School, nothing but great things to say about it. Loved the head coach there. Um, it was great, just great program in terms of setting guys up for future. We've had a lot of guys go on and play college from my high school. Um, and I think I just wanted to, coming out of high school, I just wanted to, be one of those guys that, ended up playing college. And I guess I didn't really expect it to end up the way it has. And I guess I'm just blessed to have the opportunity I have to continue playing every single day and, making those people back home proud.
Yeah, and I
Come
mean,
up with a
obviously,
memory for you. I'm
oh yeah,
thinking.
go for it. Yeah.
I'm thinking I'll come up with one though.
Okay, okay. So, wanted to, I guess, try and fill in a little bit here for people that want to get a chance to know you. So how long have you played the game of football? I mean, again, you said that you grew up like a lot of us do. We're outside playing all the games that you play outdoors.
Mhm.
But how long have you played organized football?
So yeah, you mentioned the other sports I played. Football is the one that I've played. I played since fourth grade, ever since tackle became available, and I've played all the way till now. So I don't know. That's like over 10 years now of playing tackle football. Um, but yeah.
And so, what about those other sports? I had in my notes lacrosse and track and field. What were your? Did you have any success in those sports at all?
Track and field, that was just our coaches in high school would always harp on, track and field helps you get better with football. So I guess that's really the avenue that led me towards track. Lacrosse, I didn't end up playing until later in my high school career. I had a good few buddies that played, and they kind of just convinced me to come out, for my last few years. And honestly, I think lacrosse is an extremely underrated sport. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I wish I would have picked that up a lot earlier.
Well, it's kind of like I don't know, hockey on
Hmm. Yeah,
grass
on
or the
grass. Yeah.
ground because
Hmm.
sometimes it's not grass, it's just
Yeah.
on the ground with these you know sticks you're waving in the
Hmm.
air, which you're beating each other with sometimes.
I'd
Um,
say I wasn't one of the guys that was handling the ball ever. I was just looking to make a big hit and then give the ball to our guys that can make the plays.
So hey, that's good because I mean that shows some consistency with you
Hmm.
as a player because I mean obviously you get to Mankato and you don't stop hitting people.
Hmm.
So
Oh
that's
yeah.
and that's naturally what you do. Talk about what led you to Minnesota State Mankato and that whole recruiting process of selecting that school like how did that work?
Yeah, so I would say coming out of high school, I was not a guy that was highly looked at by any means. I kind of hit a big growth spurt my junior year of high school. I was playing a little more like linebacker throughout my JV years. I was kind of a tweener in terms of size and height. Then I had a big growth spurt once I hit my junior year, so that's when I transitioned to playing D line. Um, I had we had two guys that went on to play college when I was a junior who were both defensive ends above me. So I honestly didn't play that much my junior year. It's probably different than what you've heard from other people. A lot of people, they star throughout their entire high school career. I really didn't start a single game in high school till I was a senior. And I just made the most of the opportunity, I guess. I didn't playing college, I guess, wasn't in my plans when I was playing, I was just, having fun, making memories at the time. It wasn't until after my final high school game, I remember this, I'll always remember this. My coach came up to me, he's like, this probably won't be the last down of football that you ever play. And I honestly had no idea at the time. But fast forward, after my senior season, I had a couple teams reach out from the NSIC, the conference that I play in. But my eighth grade football coach, his name's Coach Henning. He's now the offensive line coach here at Mankato, and that kind of I shot him a DM on Twitter pretty much right after my season. I was like, "Hey, coach, hope you're doing well. Miss you, all that. Just here's my highlights. Just check them out for me." He's like, this is pretty nice. Let's get you on campus for sure. And everything kind of smoothed out from there. I talked to one or two other teams, but it was kind of just here from the start, I guess.
Hey, I mean, it's obviously worked out for you. You said also there were several other teams from the NSIC
Hmm.
that showed some interest. And for people that may not be as familiar with Division two football, NSIC's got some great talent.
It does.
Great
It does.
talent on the line, great talent
Hmm.
overall. And so you're facing talent regularly in that conference, especially like in practice too, as
Hmm.
practice up against some of the best. Um, let's talk about Minnesota State for just a minute.
Yeah.
Uh, Go ahead and plug the school, man, for people that have maybe never heard about it. Why is that school so special for you?
Well, I remember, I mean, I was blessed my very first year here. I was a redshirt freshman, but I obviously didn't see any action, but our team made it to the Division two national championship. And I think just having that experience as a freshman and all those guys on that team, that I've tried to carry that and all the memories and just everything that year brought. I've tried to carry that on throughout my career, to the younger guys that weren't able to experience that. Um, just dominant football, honestly. Coach Hoffner, our head coach, ever since he's been here, it's been nothing but, winning championships. And when I stepped foot on campus for that first visit, I saw all the trophies, I saw all the championships that we had, been winning recently, and it's kind of a no-brainer, I don't think anyone ever wants to lose, and you know, this is just a great place to be if you want to win.
Cool. Uh, You name dropped a whole lot of people so far during our time, a lot of coaches. Um, let's shout out some of your teammates real quick. Who's been some of the most impressive guys you've been able to, I guess, play ball with during your time?
Obviously, me and you talked just before this. My roommate, Marshall Foreigner, an absolute dog. I don't know. There's not enough good things you can say about him. He's challenged me every single day in practice. He's my lifting partner in the weight room. I don't think I would be where I am without that guy. That's pretty much what I would say. Shane Zylstra, when I was a freshman, he's playing in the league still. Absolute, just he just does everything right. There's nothing wrong you can say about that guy. I was blessed to be able to witness him for a few months before he headed off to the league as a senior. Um, Honestly, just the offensive line in general here, they've always challenged me every single day out on the practice field. Jared Gosen, Evan Heim, a bunch of older names that have been out for a few years, but they got like pro opportunities and whatnot. Jalen Sample, that's another big name. He awesome dude, big time playmaker. There's just a lot of guys that have made a lot of plays here in my time. I've
Yes.
been around for a lot of guys making a lot of plays. And it's just awesome to have. It's awesome when you're on the sideline and you can count on guys on offense to make big plays. You're not rushing back out on the field after you get off.
Yeah, again, name dropped a lot of great talent. That offensive line over the years has just been it's been nasty
Hmm.
in a good way.
Some dominant
So
forces, some
um, you
dominant
know,
forces in there.
yeah, very, very dominant. And you talked about a whole lot of those guys. I know I've interviewed at least one of those guys before. And we plan on doing more so as the season moves on. So, and of all these people you've talked about, teammates, coaches, who's maybe been the most influential person for you specifically throughout your, I guess, athletic journey?
Um, Honestly, I think so. Our current defensive ends coach, his name's Chance Bowen. He played here starting in 2016, and he was a guy. He was an All-American as well here, defensive end. He got injured during my freshman year here. He had the case of he had a torn ACL, torn. He went through a lot down the stretch of his career. And he kind of ended up lifting with us freshmen a lot because, he was out for the season. He was just doing developmental lifts with us. And he's a coach now, as I mentioned, but I think me coming in at the time that he got injured, he kind of transitioned to a coach while he was a player. So he kind of coached me while he was still playing, and he's now transitioned into being my full-time coach. So I think just all the advice that he's given me, watching old film of him when I was a freshman, I think just trying to replicate his game. I think we're very similar in the way that we pass rush and whatnot. So Chance Bowen for sure has definitely been the most influential person I've had here in terms of helping me out on the field.
Nice. And so, what do you feel again separates you from people at your position? I mean, again, if we look at you as an NFL prospect, which you are, if we are being realistic about it, I do think that you will get an opportunity at the next level, perhaps even get drafted. We'll see. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, so to
Mhm.
speak.
A lot of
But I
work
mean,
ahead, that's for
uh,
sure. For sure.
but there's a lot of potential here. So, what do you feel separates you from the pack?
I think honestly, just I'm one of the taller defensive ends in our league, just from what I've seen. But I think just that the athleticism, I try to, separate myself in the athleticism game. I think, I have background of playing basketball, all these other sports. I think translating just the footwork that I have to the pass rush game, I think that's been really advantageous. I like to consider myself an athlete, not a defensive lineman. I'd like to consider myself that, but that's up to other people's opinions as well.
I mean, certainly a great athlete, great size. For the people that are watching, what is your current height and weight?
I'm a good 6'5" 6'6" in cleats, and I'm a good 255, I'd say right now in mid-season.
So, very solid build for that position.
Hmm
And Maven, even as we look back at like last season, dude, you were dominant. Obviously, it ended up with you being named an All-American. You ended up with 10 half sacks. So let's reflect a little bit on last season and then work into this season. When you look at some of the highs and lows from last year, what sticks out for you?
I think the thing I've understood as I've gotten just older is that your body needs time to recover. I haven't, I've been a little beat up over time, and I think that's something that I'm always striving to work on. Just in terms of keeping the body healthy, you're only as the best availability is being available is, what our coach always says. And I guess just trying to stay out there has been kind of an issue I've had. In terms of highs, though, I think I've gotten a lot better at bringing other people along. As I mentioned, trying to, as I'm one of the few remaining links we have from that 2019 national championship team. I think trying to bring everyone else along with how things were then, that culture that we had. Just trying to make everyone better. I think that's really what I've been trying to work on in terms of right now, because my time's limited, but I want to make sure that this program keeps its success for as long as it can.
And generally speaking, that team has seen a lot of great success. I mean, you guys are, always in the mix for the conference championship. Always, trying to make a playoff run.
Hmm
I know last season, the season was, I guess, stopped by Augustana. And as
Yeah.
we're speaking now, you're in a bye week, and then you're going to come back to face them once again for
hmm
hopefully a little bit of a revenge. Is that one still, is that last game there, does that still sting or what?
Yeah. So I think Augie, in terms of just style and the way they kind of construct their roster, they're pretty identical to us. Not in even the way they play defense, we kind of play the same front and whatnot. Nothing but respect for those guys for sure. Obviously, they've handed us our fair amount of losses, but I've also handed them some losses as well in my time. So I think just being able to compete with, a really good program like that, that's all you ask for.
Yeah, and you're just the conference in and of itself. I mean, there's so many good teams in there. Duluth, Bemidji, some really tough talent that you guys have to face.
hmm
And dude, this season out the gate, you guys had like the toughest back-to-back games
hmm
that I think probably anybody could probably put on their schedule.
hmm
And you delivered. You delivered wins. And so far, this season's actually been really good for you guys.
hmm
Um, uh, what are maybe some of the other things this year, man? You have any other expectations, goals, or anything? You have any games circled except for the next one?
Um, I think that honestly, what you said at the end is the next one. I think that is the biggest challenge for our team. As you mentioned, we started out with a hard schedule. And I think, we took a loss a couple weeks ago, and it's very hard to go undefeated. That's the one thing I've understood in my time here. And I think with that being such a tough first three games that we had, it's like when we were able to get past it, I think we started to look too far forward and like, okay, we're gonna make playoffs for sure. And it's back to, we got to take this one game at a time. Um, and just continue to work, especially with this bye week we have. We got to make sure we maximize our opportunities to just continue to get better, and I think everything will take care of itself from there.
So, I mean, have you guys? I guess is the idea to make any adjustments moving forward? Obviously the goal is to, uh, win the conference, get to the
Hmm.
playoffs, and make a push.
Hmm.
Any other adjustments right now that are you're doing except for just maybe like being consistent?
Um, Trying to think. I mean, really, it's just a day by day thing. I think with being a senior and only having so many days left, I think that's how I'm just planning on approaching it because you only got so many. So
Yeah, I mean, this is your last year of eligibility. Like
mhm.
you said, you've been there for a while. You remember when the team was there in the championship game. So hopefully you have the opportunity to finish the same way things started for you.
All
That would
started
certainly be a nice way to kind of go off into the sunset kind of moment.
100% agree with you on that.
Well, Maven, want to take a moment to meet this guy off the field a little bit, the guy under the helmet. Is there anything that you'd like to share about yourself, whether it be your hobbies, your interests, other passions, if you have maybe a special talent? Talk a little bit about yourself for a minute.
Um, Honestly, I'd say just in my off time, I just love relaxing and being around the guys, being around my girlfriend, just enjoying the time you have off. I don't know. I don't I don't know. I'm trying not to sound super boring, but recently got a PlayStation 5, working on, playing NCAA. Really, I
Okay.
mean, if only we could have got this over summer, I'd maybe have a few more hobbies for you, but
No,
I'm really,
hey, obviously
really
right
just
now
banging out school and football
you don't
right
have
now.
time for a hobby during this. I mean,
Fishing,
you've
I'm definitely going to pick up fishing more and more once I'm done. I'll say that for a hobby.
Gotcha. You've been at Mankato for a minute. I know you've had at least one degree that maybe
Mhm.
you've obtained. What have you been able to do there academically?
So I'm actually graduating this fall with 2 degrees. I'm a double major in marketing and management. I came in as a management major and kind of COVID happened and I kind of made the decision I was like, I'm gonna stick out my eligibility. So I ended up picking up marketing as another major. And yeah, we're finally hitting the home stretch of all these classes I've had to do. I'm excited to be done.
So, hypothetically, there's no football, or maybe 10, 15 years down the line when football is done. What do you see yourself doing?
Good question. I have two degrees because I'm not still fully sure on what I want to do. It's hard because athletics has done a lot for me, and I think the value of just athletics in general is just for the next generation for me growing up. I think just that in general is such a valuable like piece. And although I don't have like coaching, I'm not, looking into a coaching degree or whatnot, I would still love to find a way to get back into athletics somehow. Um, my dream job growing up was to be the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks. Still might pursue that as well. Um, I don't know. I've been doing this. Like I said, this is my 6th year here. So I think I might move. I think just kind of getting a new start is what would be nice, whether it be, playing football next year or what else it might be. I think I'm just excited to pursue the future, whatever it might hold.
Gotcha. You had mentioned I guess, desire to be the Milwaukee Bucks GM.
Hmm.
I'm
Big Bucks
assuming
fan.
that means that you're a bit of a basketball fan. Um,
Hmm.
so you still follow the team? I mean, how's that? How are things
Oh yeah.
going?
Oh yeah. The Milwaukee Bucks you're referring to? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm a diehard. You can ask anyone in the locker room. I'm chirping people daily. A lot of Timberwolves fans we have in our locker room that are
yeah.
very
It seems
confident in what they have, and I just I don't think they'd beat the Bucks in a 7 game series, I'll be honest.
All right. Maybe one more question here. Again, uh, just kind of, going off of this whole sports thing. Um, is there perhaps a celebrity that you'd love an opportunity to meet? Maybe a Milwaukee Buck or a football player, or maybe like an actor, singer, or something. Like, is there maybe a celebrity you'd love an opportunity to
It
get
would
to
be
meet?
JJ Watt. No, no questions, hands down. That he's been my hero ever since he started playing for the Badgers. Obviously, I'm from the Madison area. He's been kind of my idol inspiration growing up. I mean, he's just the model human being. I don't know what else he'd want, and an absolute animal on the football field.
Yeah, I know. I remember one year he was like the top ranked guy. He was the best at everything.
Mhm.
It's hard not to love him and
Yeah.
what he brings to the table. And it's nice that he also has some brothers who
Yep.
are uh, yeah,
Continuing
continuing the legacy.
the dominance 100%.
Um, well, Maven, it's been nice getting to know you and just kind of sharing your story and everything. Again, we're looking at one of the top talents at the Division II level, a guy who is probably going to be in line for, I don't know, maybe one of the top athletes that could win the Gene Upshaw Award or a lot of other things. Man, you have a whole lot of good accolades that might end up coming your way
I
yet again.
appreciate it.
But we got to close out strong. We got to win some games. We got to win some championships. But I'm sure there are some scouts that are lingering, maybe on the sidelines, coming to practice. What
Oh
do
yeah.
you have to say to those guys as to what you would give them if they took an opportunity on you and maybe drafted you? Go ahead and close us with your pitch to those people.
I think another big thing that's made me successful or will make me successful in terms of football is I'd like to consider myself very versatile in terms of the positions I can play. Um, if you're an NFL team watching this, I'm willing to gain and or lose pounds to play in the edge or on the inside, whatever you need. I'm gonna work my butt off regardless, and make the best of, any situation that is provided for sure. I'm just thankful to be, playing a sport that I wasn't planning. It was awesome that it presented itself, but I just didn't have a plan because I didn't know that the opportunity was even available. So I think just trying to remember that every day that, it's a beautiful opportunity I have and just continue to get better and, things will fall into place.
Great. Well, you heard it here, folks. He's hungry and he's ready to eat. So obviously he wants to eat up some guys in the backfield, tally up some sacks, and willing to do whatever it takes to win. So
Mm.
Maven, want to wish you best of luck the remainder of this season and beyond. Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Sure. Once again, I have Maven Kretche, edge rusher, Minnesota State Mankato. Check him out this season.